You open your mailbox. There's a letter from the Social Security Administration. You figure it's nothing. Maybe just one of those routine notices. You open it and it says, you owe us $14,000. Pay it back in 30 days or your check stops. $14,000 in 30 days from a check you already spent because you thought it was money you were supposed to get. And here's the gut punch. In thousands of cases, it was not your fault. The SSA made the mistake. They overpaid you sometimes for years and never told you. And now they want every dollar back with urgency. This is called a Social Security overpayment notice. And right now, in 2026, the rules around how fast they can take your money just changed again. If you or anyone you love gets Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, survivor benefits, you need to watch this entire video. Because what you do in the first 30 days after getting one of these letters could be the difference between keeping your check and losing a massive part of it. Let's break it down. Let's understand what an overpayment actually is. Every month, the SSA sends you a benefit, but sometimes they send you more than you were supposed to get. That is an overpayment. Now here's where most people get confused. They think, I didn't steal anything. I just cashed the checks they sent me. And that's true. But legally, the SSA is still allowed to ask for that money back, even if they made the calculation error. There are a few main reasons why this happens. You started working and earned more than the SSA's allowed limit. You moved, and your benefits should have changed but didn't. You got married, divorced, or a dependent was added or removed. The SSA miscalculated your benefit amount sometimes years ago. There was a delay in processing paperwork on their end. Here's a number that will shock you. Between 2015 and 2022, the SSA made nearly $72 billion in improper payments. And as of late, 2023, $23 billion of that was still outstanding, meaning people owed money they had no idea was coming for them. So this is not rare. This is not a fringe situation. This has happened and is happening to hundreds of thousands of Americans right now. Now here's the part nobody is talking about enough. The rules around how much money the SSA can take from your check have been changed 3 times in the last 2 years. Let me walk you through it step by step because it directly affects how much money you could lose right now. Step 1. March 2024. The Biden rule. 10% cap. The SSA said, if you have an overpayment, we'll only take 10% of your monthly check or $10, whichever is more until the debt is paid off. That was actually a good deal. If your check is $2,000 a month, they'd only take $200. You'd still have $1,800 to live on. Step 2. March 2025. The Trump administration policy shift. When the new administration came in, acting SSA Commissioner Lee Dudek announced a return to full withholding. Under this initial change, if the SSA claimed you owed money, the default system was authorized to take up to your entire check until the debt was cleared. Public outcry and reports of immediate financial hardship for seniors followed immediately. Step 3. April 2025. The 50% withholding compromise. This is the current rule. Following that massive backlash, the SSA adjusted its strategy. They issued an emergency message to their staff, establishing a 50% withholding default for Social Security retirement, SSDI, and survivor benefits. And this is the rule right now, in June 2026. If you get a new overpayment notice today, the automated default system will attempt to claw back half of your check. So if you get the average Social Security retirement check right now, which according to recent data is $2,081 per month, the SSA can take up to $1,040 of that every single month until the full debt is recovered. Think about that. Half your income, gone, while you're trying to pay rent, buy groceries, and cover your prescriptions. One important note, if you receive supplemental security income, you are in a different, more protected category. The SSA generally cannot take more than 10% of an SSI check, regardless of these new rules. Okay, so you get this letter. What does it actually say and what do you actually do? The letter will tell you how much they say you were overpaid, the time period they're claiming the overpayment happened, the date they plan to start withholding, your rights to appeal or request a waiver. Here is the single most important fact in this entire video. You have exactly 30 days from the date on that letter. If you file the right form within 30 days, whether you're appealing or asking for a waiver, The SSA is legally required to pause all collection while they review your case. No money taken, nothing withheld. The clock stops. If you miss that 30-day window, they will start taking your money automatically. So let's talk about the 3 forms that could save you. Option 1. You think the SSA got it wrong. File Form SSA 561. This is called a request for reconsideration. You're saying, I don't actually owe this money. The amount is wrong, or the reason is wrong. Legally, you have 60 days from receiving the notice to submit an appeal, but hear me clearly. You must file it within the first 30 days to freeze the withholding before it starts. If you wait until day 31, they will cut your check while they review your case. You can get this form at ssa.gov by calling 1-800-772-1213 or by walking into any local SSA office. Option 2. You agree you were overpaid, but it's not your fault and you can't afford to pay it back. File Form SSA 632. This is called a request for waiver of overpayment recovery. You're asking the SSA to forgive the debt entirely. To win a waiver, you need to show 2 things. 1. You were not at fault, you didn't lie, you didn't hide income, you didn't intentionally do anything wrong. Maybe the SSA made the calculation error. Maybe they were slow to process a form you submitted. 2. Paying the money back would cause financial hardship, meaning you can't cover your basic living expenses like rent, food, utilities, and medicine. There's no dollar limit on how much can be waived through this form. The SSA can waive thousands of dollars if you meet the standard. And here's a bonus for smaller debts. If your overpayment is $2,000 or less, you may not even need to fill out the full form. You can call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and request a verbal waiver right over the phone, explaining the situation. Option 3. You accept the debt but need a lower monthly repayment amount. File Form SSA 634. This is a request for change in overpayment recovery rate. Basically, you're saying, I'll pay you back, but 50% is going to destroy me. Let's agree on a smaller amount. Now that the automatic 10% default is gone, you have to actively ask for this. Many people successfully negotiate this down to 10% or even just $10 per month by providing a clear breakdown of their basic monthly budget. You don't need a lawyer. You just need to show them on paper that a 50% cut would leave you unable to survive. Pro tip: you can file Form SSA 561 and Form SSA 632 at the same time. One says, I don't owe this. The other says, even if I do owe it, I can't pay it. Filing both simultaneously gives you double protection, and both independently trigger the 30-day collection freeze. You don't need to wait for a letter to find out if you have an overpayment issue. Right now, you can check your own account. Go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. Look under your benefit details. If there is an outstanding overpayment on your record, it will show up there, including the amount and the reason. If you don't have an online account, call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. They are available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. For quicker access, try calling early in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m. or later in the week, Wednesday through Friday. And if you need free legal help with this, because SSA cases can get complicated, contact your state's legal aid office. The Legal Services Corporation funds free civil legal aid in every state, and many offices have attorneys who handle Social Security cases at no cost to you. Let's bring this all together. The SSA can now withhold up to 50% of your Social Security retirement, SSDI, or survivor benefit check to recover an overpayment. That rule applies to all new overpayment notices. If you get an overpayment letter, here is your action plan. Step 1. Don't panic. Don't ignore it. Step 2. Read the letter carefully. Note the date it was mailed. Step 3. Within 30 days file Form SSA 561 if you think the debt is wrong, Form SSA 632 if you can't afford to pay it back, or both. Filing within 30 days freezes the collections. Step 4. If the waiver or appeal is denied, use Form SSA 634 to negotiate a lower monthly repayment rate. Step 5. Check your My Social Security account online to stay informed. Look, the system isn't always fair. Sometimes it's the SSA's own error, and you're the one left holding the bill. But you do have rights, you have options, and now you know exactly what to do. If this video helped you, Share it with someone you know who gets Social Security, because the only thing worse than getting one of these letters is getting one and not knowing what to do about it. I'm Vane. I'll see you in the next one.